Hi everybody, it's Stephanie. Today I am down in my basement here with my Arcade 1-Up games because today's cake is inspired by these. I am really excited about this because there is a new Ms Pac Man game coming out. I would really love to get it. I'm thinking about getting it. I just have to figure out where I'm going to put it because I already have 4. But I will work that out. I will find space for it. So I am very excited to make this cake today. I have so much work to get done, so let's get upstairs into my kitchen and get started on this cake. Alright, here I have 6 7-inch square cakes, and I also baked one larger cake, which I did use. This cake today is not necessarily a tutorial, but more of me just showing you how I made it, as I don't know. Okay, next I'm going to layer up my cake and buttercream frosting. I will typically add 4 layers of cake and 3 layers of frosting, and then I will go ahead and add supports after that. The supports I'm using are 4 bubble tea straws or milkshake straws, so I'm just pushing those into the cake until it hits the board. And then I am cutting those down flush with the cake. Alright, my dowels are into place, and then I'm sliding on a board, and then I'm going to go ahead and add 4 more layers of cake and more buttercream frosting. And then I'm repeating the process of adding more dowels and cutting them flush with the cake. And let's repeat this entire process once again with another board, more cake and frosting. This cake is a lot of layering and a lot of supports, but it did not move at all. It was very sturdy. And next I'm adding another board, which is a little bit smaller, and then I'm adding my final layers of cake and buttercream frosting. Someone asked me the other day what my favorite arcade games are, and I think it would be Ms Pac Man and also Centipede. So tell me in the comments what your favorite arcade game is. Alright, so next I am holding up my templates to the cake, and I'm using those as a guide to trim the cake to the exact shape that I would like. So these templates are ones that I just printed out in Photoshop. So I found some artwork online, and then I blew them up to the size that I wanted. And I will go ahead and put a link to this artwork that I found online so that you can make your own template. And now that I have it into the perfect shape, I'm going to completely cover it in buttercream frosting. Smoothing this cake was a task, I will say. You do need some kind of metal smoothers, whether it's a little one or a really large one. You'll need something to smooth it out. And I definitely prefer the metal smoothers over the plastic ones for straight edges like this one. Alright, let's move on to the covering of this cake. So I have rolled out a sheet of black modeling chocolate, and I'm using a razor blade and a ruler to cut the modeling chocolate in perfect straight lines right along those edges. I noticed that the sides of the arcade cabinet were black on the inside and blue on the outside, so I rolled out sheets of both colors and I attached them together with water. I then got out my template again, and I used it to cut out 2 side panels. And then I carefully moved this entire piece over onto the side of my cake. And with modeling chocolate, what's great about it is that it kind of just holds its shape by itself, whereas if you did this with fondant, it would start to kind of flap over and it wouldn't hold this shape. So that's why I picked modeling chocolate for this project. Alright, I have both panels put into place on the sides, and then I am adding another sheet of modeling chocolate right along the back, and I wrap it around to the top and front of the cake. And I use the same process as before by using my ruler and X-Acto knife to make a straight line and cut away that modeling chocolate along the edge. Next, I have cut out a rectangle piece of modeling chocolate, and I am sliding that into place, and this will be the control panel. The Arcade 1-Up cabinets are sitting in risers, so that's what I'm adding here. And I am also adding a purple trim around all the edges of the cake, and this trim was made using a clay extruder. To give it the real look and feel of Ms Pac Man, I'm decorating it with strips of pink and yellow modeling chocolate, and I printed out all the logos on my edible image printer, and I am attaching those to the cake too. When I first put on these logos, I didn't put anything on the back of them. I just stuck them directly on the cake, which was fine, but I thought it looked a little bit off, so I ended up pulling those off and I put a piece of modeling chocolate behind each logo. So if you notice a change later on, that is what happened. Okay, I have the sides decorated, and next I'm adding a blue modeling chocolate frame right on top of the screen. And I am also finishing off the front of the cabinet with more logos. All right, I have a little bit more decorating to go, so I am next adding more modeling chocolate strips along the screen and also on the control panel and the riser. And then I also added one more Ms Pac Man logo. I do not want to forget that one. I wanted my screen to be shiny, so I brushed some Super Shine by Poppy Paints onto it, and actually it turned out really streaky and I wasn't happy with it. I would not use that product again on a larger area like this one. I think maybe it's just made for smaller areas. To finish off the control panel, I am adding a joystick that I created out of modeling chocolate and a toothpick. I am also adding a few more details like the arrows, the buttons, and of course the volume and on-off switch, which are made out of large pearl sprinkles. I am pretty happy with how this control panel turned out. It looks actually very realistic. My Ms Pac Man Arcade one-up is complete. This one was very time consuming, but I love the way that it turned out. And someone already on Facebook told me that they thought it was a real mini size cabinet sitting on my countertop. So I always love hearing that. All right, let's cut into this cake and see what it looks like on the inside. Thank you all for being here and watching this video today. I hope you picked up some cake decorating tips throughout the video, and I will be back very soon with another very special cake that I have planned. All right, bye everybody. Have a good week.